Hello, and welcome to Rainy Tuesdays. I'm here with Adam
Hello.
and with Margot.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pretty good. We got the usual cast and crew again.
Yeah.
It's been a bit.
OG.
We've had various guest stars and a
Yeah.
replacement briefly, and
Yeah.
I like the term
back to
guest
normal.
stars.
Yes. They're stars, all of them.
Mhm.
Um,
Even Joanna, who is basically not a guest star and
Just-
just a regular
just-
host.
yeah. She'll probably be back soon.
Yeah.
Oh man. Good time. Bit of a crazy time on social media with just everything, with the whole I feel like we didn't talk about it last week. Probably because it didn't happen yet. I don't think. I don't know. I've lost track of the days. They mean nothing. But the whole Facebook outage with the WhatsApp and the Instagram,
Oh,
and
Well, that did
Facebook
yeah.
happen.
lost 8 million. And it was exciting for ooh, this is drama. But then it's also oh, you recognize that in some countries those are the only ways that certain people can communicate with family members and stuff.
Yeah,
And it's
there's
that's a bummer.
WhatsApp is the only texting service that some countries utilize, and
Yeah.
since Facebook owns that, that went down. So
Mhm.
that's your only way to communicate, which seems wild to me. I mean, I know WhatsApp's very popular abroad, but
I've
to
never
have
used
that
it.
be the only thing, there's a lot of texting services and a lot of social
Right.
media and normal texting. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. But then also there's the whole whistleblower thing with social media, and she was saying it is actually bad for kids, and we
Mhm.
know it's bad for kids. And then Facebook is but it's not that bad. You can make it slightly better. And then they were but we're not gonna, and we're pausing Instagram for kids, and so we're
Yeah.
not gonna do that. It's been crazy.
It's also crazy too, just with social media and specifically Facebook, is Facebook designs its algorithm on what's gonna make you angry. Because
Yeah,
they know
'cause you'll
that
engage more.
anger increases engagement. If you're angry at
Mhm.
something, you're gonna react to it, maybe give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or comment, and that is
And
more
it's
time on your
true.
site. Yeah.
Yeah, because the so I don't go on Facebook too often, right? It's maybe twice a week, and it's to basically use Facebook Messenger because I don't have it on my phone. But
You should. You can get Facebook
I
Messenger
could.
completely separate and have nothing to
I
do with Facebook.
know.
I don't use Facebook ever, but I do have the Messenger application.
And at some point, I probably will just switch to that, but I haven't yet because I'm a creature of habit. And so I went on there. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and there was this person that I knew from high school. Had posted something about the Texas abortion laws and everything, and she was "This sucks. This is horrible. Women's rights. Kind of sucks to be a woman right
Just
now,
got
right?"
put on hold.
I know, and it's
Yeah.
exciting. But
Hopefully
yeah,
that
this was a few.
lasts.
Right, we'll see. And so it was a few weeks ago, when it had just happened. And there was this absolute troll on the in the comments of it that was just starting to harass her, and he it was on my timeline for everything because it was oh, this person that you're friends with, there's a new comment on this, or they commented on it because he'd gone back for 3 years and commented on every post she's ever made, and it was just like you kill babies, and you're a horrible person, and I would never let my woman do that kind of thing. And it was everyone and her being dude, do you even have a woman? You sound like you suck. Why are you even talking at this point? Why are you harassing this poor girl? And then he is just but yeah. And so it's I normally stay on Facebook for maybe 2 minutes to respond to things, but I was on Facebook for a full hour just reading through all of it, being I cannot believe this. What is happening? And so then whenever this report came out, I was oh no, it totally does make you stay on there, because I was so mad at that guy, and I was just oh wow, the most I've used Facebook in the past few weeks has been because of something that made me angry. So yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. I was looking too, because I had to look at my local newspaper, and they run a lot of their stuff at Facebook, so I was just on their Facebook page, And I got like
Mhm.
sucked into it for like 20 minutes because I was reading the comments on some of the posts, and it's
Oh,
just people
yeah.
being so wrong. And it was like,
Mhm.
I almost want to create like a burner Facebook account and just reply to these people.
Right. You don't want to do it with your own.
Exactly. I don't even have one. And I
Yeah.
was like, should I just create one
Oh my
and just
god.
mess with these people? Because they're just.
Yeah.
I feel bad though, because it's like, you're just not right.
Right.
But like, I think that's intentional, is they upvote the controversial stuff. But like, also,
Mhm.
a big problem too with social media is a lot of misinformation. But like, a lot of misinformation I was thinking about is like to make you angry,
Mhm.
not necessarily to make you happy.
Fair.
Like, you don't read anything like drinking water cures cancer.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to see. It's obviously not true. But like,
Sure.
see stuff like that, it's like,
No,
Ah.
the misinformation you see is like
these
the-
people are
breathing
taking
air
over the
kills
country.
people. Yeah.
We better stop them
Oh
now.
my gosh.
And
Fair.
it makes you angry. Or
Yeah.
you see it and you know it's wrong, and it also makes you angry.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
The only
know.
solace I have that Facebook is such a dumpster fire is that people our generation don't use it very much.
Mhm.
I don't. Yeah.
Like, I don't use it at all. Ryan, you say you don't even have an account.
I don't.
Margot, barely a couple times a
to
week.
message
Like,
people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
was.
don't know.
the one good part is that we don't really use it.
That's
That's
true.
the other thing I was disappointed by. Like, when I was going through the comments, it's like people named like Paul and Deborah just like spewing their opinions and just being wrong. But they're all like 40 to 50-year-old people.
Yeah, and it's something that it's like there's definitely people that I know that like use Facebook that are well informed and that like can discern between like misinformation on the internet and like, oh, this is like a factual like news like update or whatever.
Mhm.
But like you do run the risk of like just like you have it with our generation with like TikTok and Instagram of like if people only get their news from something like that, then it's like you have to really really be cautious of that. And luckily that's like not true for everyone that uses Facebook, and it's also not true for everyone that uses like Instagram or TikTok. But for the people that it is true for, it's scary. You're like, please like go to a real website. Like,
Yeah.
don't rely on this. Yeah.
And
Well.
what's crazy too is there is very much a way to stop misinformation. They
Yeah.
just don't want to because it's bad for their brand. It
Yeah.
decreases engagement.
And it's weird because it's like on Instagram they have those like COVID disclaimers, right? Where
Mhm.
it's like any post
Yeah.
that mentions COVID at all, they say like, hey, this could include misinformation. We don't know, but like go to the CDC to like know anything about COVID, right? Like I think the disclaimer says something like that. And so it's like you'd think that they would have stuff like that for more like news topics and less like opinion things.
Mhm.
But they just don't. It's like I've only ever seen it with COVID.
I think it really is a because like our generation uses Instagram, our
Mhm.
parents use Facebook, and
Right.
the age being an indicator of general opinion
Mm.
and political mindset. They might be like, this might force people off our application or service
Sure.
if we put it on Facebook, whereas it is
Yeah.
less likely to do so on Instagram. Especially because people who use Instagram probably use Twitter as well, and Twitter already
Sure.
has that, so they're like, oh, they're used to seeing it.
Yeah.
So Facebook doesn't have that, do they? I have no idea.
I don't think.
Oh.
I don't know. You're the only
Yeah.
one out of us who uses it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like the only thing I've seen on Facebook lately has been about abortion.
Yeah. I was
Um,
thinking too about like, there's also the argument too of, do these social media companies have to follow the First Amendment? And I would say no, because
No.
they're a private company.
Yeah.
The First Amendment explicitly says the government can't do
Mhm.
this. It's
But it's
not like
also-
it's
yeah.
not you, the citizen, have the right of free speech. Is the government can't do this thing to against free speech.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's also interesting too, because like back in January with like the insurrection, like they kicked off a lot of like right-wing people off platforms, and kicking people off, like that was great and like they tried to like migrate to new platforms, but like that just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of them have like come back to like Facebook and Twitter and like all those spaces, but like migrating doesn't really work. And I think what's interesting too is like while they don't have to follow like a frame of speech, like they can very easily silence like a discussion about something if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like just how like Instagram can flag like everything that mentions COVID, they could like I don't know, flag a word like omelets. Talking a lot about
Right.
omelets tonight. Be like no
Yeah,
omelet
this-
discussions.
Big discussion before the podcast about omelets.
Oh, man. But yeah, it is interesting, and it is like it's the whole thing we like discovered last week with the you can ban certain words on your own.
Yeah.
But then like it is the like question of like is it the like company's right or like the individual's right / responsibility on either end to like guard yourself from certain things? And I have no idea because it's a big discussion that I think has two sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they are fine to censor things. It's within their right. And if
Yeah.
people really want to have a discussion about it, they'd move to their own platform, which is
That's true.
sometimes difficult to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's
But-
the problem of like there aren't other platforms
Yeah.
necessarily.
But they could also create
Mm.
their own, and if it's like genuinely like a conversation to be had,
Right.
then I think it could
Right.
probably grow from there.
Mhm.
I like the one that like Twitter did with Trump where like before they completely banned him, it was with the January 6th thing. They just started flagging everything with like a warning being like, nothing here is a fact. Twitter
Yeah.
doesn't condone this. Twitter's
Also-
judging Trump right now.
Objectively hilarious.
Yeah.
To
Oh,
look at
yeah,
the
it's so
president's
funny.
Twitter feed and be like,
Yeah.
wrong.
Right.
The Twitter is
That's
saying
wrong.
this. Hysterical.
I think it's interesting too with that because they're like, yeah, we're going to start doing this for misinformation, and they only did it on him, and then
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
they did do it to other people, but I think it's also a thing of where can we tackle this to affect the most amount of people.
yeah,
Trump has
I
a
guess that's
massive
true.
audience. And a news media that is obsessed with him and reports his every move. So this will hit
Yeah.
the most people if we start here.
I think
Mhm.
it's interesting too because like I use a lot of Twitter, and now like what they've done with Twitter is like when a word is trending, they'll like add context to it of like, oh, this is trending. Like it'll be an actor like John Boyega was trending, and they're like, oh, John Boyega
Sure.
did an interview with like GQ or something, and like
Right.
it provides context, which is really nice. But I
Yeah.
think what's interesting is like something like COVID will go trending, and you click on it, and like maybe like the top 5 things are all like misinformation, and it's like so you like put a context for why COVID is trending, but you didn't actually like look what is trending and like try to fix that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oof.
Because like those warning labels they did like back in like November, December, January, but haven't really done anything lately. with
Uh-huh.
it.
It's interesting. Yeah. I don't know. So I prepared a few questions for today, and some of them did have to deal with just social media in general. So I want to ask those real
Yeah,
quick to
nice.
kind of transition.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think is like the best social media? And I'm gonna put a caveat on this of like I don't think TikTok is actually social media because you can't like totally like connect with friends or whatever. Like it's usually just like an entertainment app to me. Does that
Yeah,
make
you
sense?
can. You can send things to your friends, or you can like make things you send to your friends.
No, I get it,
It's-
but I just think that it's like more kind of like in the vein of like YouTube, where it's like
Yeah, it's definitely
yeah.
more like I wouldn't like back when Vine. I wouldn't say Vine was a social media. It's just an
Exactly.
entertainment platform.
yeah.
Like Snapchat as well. I wouldn't say Snapchat is a social media site.
I
People
mean,
might
that's
disagree
what
with
I was
me.
gonna argue was the best
I-
one.
I don't think Snapchat is a social media site. I think it's a texting service that's bad at being a texting service, but somehow also wants to do social media things without any functionality to do so.
So
But-
I
Yeah.
disagree.
Because Snapchat at least has,
but yeah.
it's like TikTok is set around the videos, whereas
Mhm.
Snapchat is set around texting each other, even though it's bad at it. But that's its basis. So it is
Sure.
at least has the functionality of interacting with people, which while TikTok also has, that's not its main goal.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking like I think the big four, and I'm sure there's others that I don't know about, but like I think the big four are like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. And I was assuming we could all take Facebook off of it given our age.
Yeah, and we can throw Snapchat out because it's not a real social media.
Right, but I think Snapchat's the best social media.
I disagree.
I think you're completely wrong. What's social media about
I would say
Snapchat?
TikTok. I was also going to say, what's the difference between Twitter and TikTok?
Well, because like with Twitter, you can make it so that it's like you're truly just talking with your friends on there. Like if you post something, when you posted your thing about the carts,
Oh, yeah.
just remember something about shopping carts. But if you posted that and then I like retweeted you and like added something to it, and I was like, "LOL, you're so right, Ryan. Shopping carts."
But you can't do that on Snapchat.
You
No,
can do
but,
it
like,
sort of
Whereas
similarly
you
on
can do it
TikTok.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you can do the duetting. That's what they call
And
it.
also, like,
And just
I'm on
commenting.
TikTok now.
commenting, like,
Um.
both of those are on Twitter and TikTok. And then also, like, things will
Yeah.
trend on Twitter, things will trend on TikTok. Like, you actually see, like, what the trending topic
Yes.
for that day is.
Yeah, you know, I'm going in. I think TikTok's more of a social media service than Snapchat is. Just okay. Before we do anything, what is your definition of a social media? Because I have mine, and Snapchat doesn't qualify. So
Well, it's
Oh,
also
no.
going to say social media. Social involves people, and
Right.
then media is, like, videos, images, posts, text.
Sure.
So for me, social media is a way to see what your friends are up to in their lives
Uh-huh.
and other people, maybe famous people, like that
Sure.
kind of connection. But it's by its nature some kind of weekly update to
Yeah,
what's
I agree
going
with
on
that.
with you as a person, and not like
Why
a
is
news
Snapchat not
service or
that?
something. Because that's not what Snapchat does.
Sure
There's
it
no
does. Stories.
like, I guess, but think about like Instagram, which is posts, and Twitter, where they have like posts and you go through this timeline of posts. Snapchat's
Uh-huh.
not like that. You can post something on your story, but the only people you're friends with on Snapchat are your close friends because it's a texting service.
Sure. I mean, you can like open yourself up to everyone, where like anyone and everyone can add you, kind of thing. And you don't have to like approve it or like friend them back. Like anyone can message you. But it's like I think I could be swayed to agreeing that like if I'm counting Twitter, then I should count TikTok. But my only thing with it is like I always think of Twitter as more like genuinely here are my thoughts right now, since it's like typically more
Yeah.
words than like pictures or videos or anything.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I typically think of like TikTok as more like humor. Like some people do updates on it, sure, but I feel like it's typically more just like, oh, random like TikTokers that you follow are making funny content and or like whatever type of content you
I
consume.
suppose it's like an audience kind of deal, where for TikTok,
Sure.
the videos you're making are for anybody who happens to watch it. Versus
Right.
Twitter, you're making it to the people who follow you, probably.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's that difference. But
I guess.
I still just don't see how you think Snapchat is a
But, like-
social media. That's what I keep
So-
coming back to.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
say TikTok is social media, Snapchat
Uh-huh.
is social media, and YouTube is social media. Now, the thing with YouTube and Snapchat is like their main functions are not really social media, because Snapchat's a
Uh-huh.
messaging app and YouTube is a video playing app. But YouTube, you can have
Sure.
comments.
You
Snapchat,
can.
you can have stories, but you can't really comment on
Uh-huh.
the stories, like unless it's just
You can
messaging
swipe
the
up.
person.
Yeah.
But like, no one else can see like what you've commented.
That's why I think it's the best one.
But that's why I
Oh.
think it's not a social media.
I was also
hear
gonna
ya.
say, I absolutely hate Snapchat because
Yes.
I love it.
Every
Even if
single
Snapchat is a
update-
social media, it's complete trash.
I was gonna
it's
say-
by far the worst application I have on my phone.
every
What?
single update like seems to make it worse, except for the most recent one. They added like you can see everyone's birthdays, which I sort of like, because then I'm like, oh, I know when like my friends' birthdays are coming up.
Oh, I hid my birthday. But
what? What? Why?
Denying the only good Snapchat function it's ever had.
I just felt like uncomfy, and I didn't want it to like make people feel obligated to like comment or something or like text me, because I feel like that's something that happens. I don't know.
I feel like if someone's gonna try to find your birthday, like they can just like go on a government website and like put in your name, like
Don't do
full
that,
legal
please.
name, and then you can find your
You can do that
birthday.
and go on.
Yeah,
Please don't do that.
I'll just go to
That's-
Facebook.
That
Almost
too.
everyone has a Facebook account and it lists their birthday on there. Do you hide your birthday on Facebook too?
I have no idea.
you can't hide it from the government.
No, you don't. You have to hide everything by default it's open. So That makes
Yeah, I
sense.
just don't know if I hit it in high school or not. Is the thing.
I
But like,
lied about my birthday on Facebook when I first made it.
Same here.
did you
Like
make it
an
like before
idiot.
you were legally allowed?
I
No,
made
because I made it
one-
late. I don't
yeah.
remember why.
I made one at like
Oh, then why
age
would you lie?
10, maybe.
I might have been maybe it,
Right, and
maybe
it's
you
like
have to be
13 and up, I
18.
think.
Maybe
Yeah.
I was
13.
like 16 or 17 and wasn't quite there yet.
Hmm.
Okay.
I also deleted
But-
it after a while, but yeah.
Fair. But no, it's just I think I like it, and it's similar to the whole like thing that is like that came out about like teenage girls on like Instagram and stuff, and like how bad it is for your mental health. And it's like I think that's why I like Snapchat best, is because if I am on Instagram for too long and I like see too many things, then like sometimes I do feel like worse. I'm like, oh, like some like maybe it's like a body image thing, maybe it's like a social thing, I don't know, but like sometimes I'll just feel worse after using Instagram, and like I'm never like, oh, I just watched someone's Snapchat story and now I feel bad about myself. Like, no, I don't. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I like that it is so removed and that you don't see like everything about it. Yeah.
I go through
All good
Snapchat
points.
stories and I get annoyed
I
because I'm
forget-
like, why
I
are you
only watch
posting
certain
this
people's.
much? If
I
you're
literally
posting more
forgot
than
that
3
Snapchat had a story
things,
feature until you brought it up.
yeah, if you're posting more than 3 things, you must have an exciting life. Like, this must be the most exciting day of your life, or you're posting too
Oh
much.
my god. Right. I only watch certain people's stories because I am on like several people's private stories, and so like I'll always watch those. And then if I know someone usually posts funny things, then I'll watch those. Like I sent one to you guys a couple weeks ago where a guy I knew from high school, he like went to this like lake near his college, and he was like, ex-professor murdered his wife and dumped the body here. Fun. And I was like, why would you post that?
Mhm.
But like, I'm so glad I saw it. Oh man, comedy gold.
Mhm.
What's
I
up?
think I feel bad for Snapchat because the only thing Snapchat
Yeah.
has that's unique is you can take a picture of something and send it to someone real quick
Memories.
and it goes
for
away.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Which is
everything
Unless you have
else,
objectively
infinite like I
bad.
do.
yeah.
You
I mean,
can set it to an infinite thing.
It doesn't matter. If your only purpose is your original and only good purpose is a texting service, but the texts by nature disappear after seeing them, that's a bad texting service.
I
What is the point here?
disagree. Because it's like, what if you just want to like send a quick message to someone, but also like have a picture with it,
Yeah.
but also like not a picture like you want to save?
Right.
I think it has its place, but I don't think. Well, I don't think it was for me. But I also just don't think it's very good. It's good at what it is, and what it is
I
is
love
not
the
something I'm a
memories.
fan of.
The
The memories
memories
are
is
nice.
nice.
I would also,
Yeah.
I would
My
counter
Google
and
Photos
say,
does that, so.
I like it for sending pictures and like quick messages,
Yeah.
but it doesn't do it well.
No.
I think it could be
Interesting.
improved on.
What
Well-
annoys me particularly is some people use it exclusively, and this might be a targeted comment because Margot,
This
you
is
use it
towards me.
exclusively.
This is
And
towards me,
it's-
and I can feel it.
because fundamentally, Snapchat is that sending a quick message or a quick picture that doesn't last, which means it's not a texting service, or at least not a good one.
We
so if you
save
want to have,
everything.
but that's not what it's for. We should have like a normal, we should have a normal texting service instead of Snapchat.
Oh my
What
god.
annoys me
But
when
it-
people
okay.
use Snapchat for texting all the time because that's not what it's good at.
Pros of it though. One, I think it's the great equalizer. So like you and I have Androids and Ryan has an iPhone, and I feel like I would never get annoyed using Snapchat with a group like that. Because like when you do the texting thing and then iPhone people do like their little reactions or
Yeah,
whatever,
that's
and then
the
you get like
worst.
5 messages about it, and it's like, this is stupid.
I
Like,
hate
I
that.
don't-
Nothing makes me hate iPhone users more than when I
I
get
know.
a whole text message saying liked quotation the text message.
And it's
you
the
just
whole
sent.
thing you just sent.
Infuriating.
Oh,
Utterly
it's
infuriating.
annoying.
I like it.
And then,
You don't
and then
see
iPhone
it.
users are so elitist of like, oh, it's a different color message. Screw you.
I can't read it
Get
now
outta
because
here.
it's green. Like,
Oh, no.
okay.
Yeah.
That never happens on Snapchat. Also,
Not a
the
problem.
voice memos. I love the voice memos.
Mhm.
And I know you can do that on like texting, but then I know that sometimes it's funky with
Yeah.
iPhones. And so like iPhone to Android, that is. But like on Snapchat, it's just like, hey, here's my voice. I hate typing for too long because I wear nails. And so like I don't want to sit here like this. I want to just hold it and talk.
You know what's a
How do
good
you live your
messaging app?
life with
Not-
nails?
Hard.
Yeah. Not
What's
a
the
good
point?
social
Difficult.
media app, but a good
But they're
messaging app
cute.
is GroupMe.
I think GroupMe is solid.
I love the ability you can just like a message. I think
Mhm.
that's what
Sure.
Snapchat needs. It's just a
Yes.
button to like a message.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
have to be
fair.
like, okay,
But-
cool. You just press a button.
But that would get Snapchat closer to a territory of being a functioning text service, and it just can't do that.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
true.
one day.
It's got to steal other things.
I like
What I do like about Snapchat is Snapchat's big thing was way back in the day where they're like, we have stories now.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
Instagram was like, oh, we can do that too. And then
and they did it better.
for me,
Yeah,
they do it better, and every
Yeah.
single person I know moved over to Instagram, and no
Mhm.
one uses Snapchat
And, like,
stories anymore.
Instagram
for people that I'm friends
stories
with.
I go through are so much better than Snapchat stories. Maybe it's just like the people I'm friends with or whatever, or like the content I
Sure.
see. But like I like
Uh-huh.
that so much better than Snapchat. And also like you go through Snapchat stories, and if you scroll down, there's like all these like ads you don't care about.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that is annoying. I don't know. It's interesting. I do like Snapchat. I feel like it's nice, and I feel like I don't feel bad about myself afterwards, which is the only thing with Instagram.
Probably because it's not a
Um,
social media.
Do you
Yeah,
use
maybe.
the TikTok portion of Snapchat?
No, now that I have a TikTok, I only use the TikTok portion of TikTok.
Now that you don't have to bootleg your TikToks off Snapchat and
I used-
Instagram, and
I did it
you
only
know-
on Instagram because I felt like their algorithm was slightly better than Snapchat's. Because Snapchat, it was just like it kind of felt like America's Funniest Home Videos. Like that was the types of things where it'd be like, look at this silly fall that happened. But then like on Instagram, it was like it was just like TikTok, except it didn't totally get me. And so sometimes it was just like, what was the one that I didn't like that it kept doing? Oh, it kept doing because I watched one video of someone sewing a dress, and I found that interesting because I was like, "This is cool. They're making a dress. That's fun." But then for like a week, it was just people trying on dresses, and it was like, I don't want to see that. Like, it was cool because that person made the dress, but then like you're just putting dresses on and then jumping, and it's a different dress, and then you jumped in, and now it's a new one. And it was just that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Instagram is weird. I get recommended all sorts of random stuff. Like I do not like the Instagram algorithm. The TikTok algorithm is perfect.
TikTok's algorithm really nails you.
I don't know how
I
they
know
do
what
it,
most of my Instagram is
but it's
on the
amazing.
Discover page.
TikTok.
Miraculous.
Oh,
Of course. Oh, it's been a while since we mentioned Miraculous.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. You're welcome.
We're on a good streak there.
Crazy
Forgetting that
stuff has
exists.
happened with it. That
Oh,
yeah.
Um,
So my Instagram right now, I'm getting a lot of floor plans. I don't
Nice.
know why, but I'm just getting a lot of like
Interesting.
floor plans.
Are you gonna be an architect?
No, and like a lot of the floor plans I see are all bad because they'll be
Oh
like
no.
the kitchen, and then there's like a really long hallway, and then the bedroom, and it's like, why not put them like closer together? And there's like nothing in betwoon. They just threw a long hallway in for some reason.
Hmm.
I'm just like
Aesthetic.
critiquing them.
This
Yeah,
sucks.
they're
Yeah.
all bad too. It's like, who would want to live here? This is an awful design,
Oh my god.
and they all have like 1,000 likes. It's like, who's liking this? I didn't know there was content for
God.
this.
I did stumble upon, I guess, architecture TikTok, and it was fascinating. So definitely love to be there. But I was like, oh, this is kind of a niche
Yeah,
interest that I suddenly happened upon.
Mm.
I think architecture would be cool, but I'm just getting like house
Yeah.
floor plans, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't want
thankfully
this.
don't have that. It was all about like sustainable buildings and architecture trends, and I was like,
I
this is
had a
really
few
interesting.
that were super cool of like making the most out of like small places, and it would be like 3D designs of like, here's this room, now here's it as a 3D design, and here's what we're gonna do, and it would like have it as this animation of really creative ways to use the space, and I was like, that's fun. It's like a little puzzle.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was cool. Related, does social media hurt communication
In what ways?
Asian.
in any ways that come to mind? I think yes.
Snapchat hurts communication.
Maybe-
No,
if
it
you
doesn't.
don't
I think
I think
Snapchat's
set
one of
the
the only good
thing
ones.
to delete
Yeah.
in 24 hours.
Yeah, I think Snapchat hurts communication by being bad at texting.
Oh my god.
I cannot tell you the amount of times that someone has sent sent me a Snapchat. I get to it, I respond, and they're like, "Oh, I don't remember what I said." Well, it's like, what's the point of using Snapchat then?
You know why
Text me
else
normally.
Snapchat
You get better
sucks?
memories.
Because of streaks.
I love streaks. Streaks are cute.
No.
It's like, look at how long I've talked to you.
Yeah,
And it's not
I'm glad
substantial.
I'm glad that our generation has given up reliance on streaks. My younger siblings
yeah.
were deeply invested in streaks, and I think might still be. It was
Sure.
a big social status symbol to be like, I've been on a streak with this person for 3 years. And
It
I'm
is-
glad that our few
Yeah.
years never had that, or have grown out of that.
It
We
is one of
definitely
those
had that
things
in, like, when it first came out.
where it's like, if you rely on that for like your friendship, there is a moment that you're gonna realize, oh, that's dumb. And like, I don't want to offend any younger listeners, but it'll just happen. It happens to everyone.
Well, I don't think we have any
Um,
listeners under 18, so I'll say
That's
right now,
true.
it's dumb. My siblings would, at the beginning of the day, open up Snapchat, take a picture of blackness, they'd hold the
Mhm.
camera so there's nothing on it, and then just say streak, and then send it to every single person on their friend list.
What I like is
Ridiculously
I
stupid.
have some friends who will do like this is what I'm doing today streaks, where it's like, here, look at this fun thing that I did, and it'll be like a cool thing that they did for the day. I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, but sometimes it was like hikes or like visiting this place for the first time, and like stuff like that I'm totally cool with. But then it's Ryan just sent streaks. I wish we could just start a streak with the group chat because we'd have one.
Can you have
But,
streaks
like-
with group chats?
No, I don't think so.
You know what? They should do that. They should have streaks for the group chat. And then it's like a giant like social pressure of like one person has to talk each day, otherwise they lose it.
No, but it's for streaks on Snapchat. Both people have to talk, so everyone in the group chat.
No,
would have
I
to
think
send
it only has to be
every
one
single day.
person. One person has to talk and just see like how long they can keep it going.
Oh my god!
I want to see like groups fall apart.
I want to see chaos in their eyes.
Because then
no,
it
but
like
I-
becomes a point people in the group are like, I don't want this streak to keep going on because it's just 2 people talking and it's a group of like 7
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Indeed. I think that though, like the streaks thing, it's like you do kind of hit a point where you realize like, oh, it's not that important, like if I lose, oh well, kind of thing. But like it is nice if you're like, oh, look at that, that's cute. Like I've been friends with this person for so long. Look at that. Like fun number. But it shouldn't be a reliant thing, if that makes sense. Like if it's like a fun
Yes.
little fact, like, oh, look at that cute number. Okay.
Yeah.
If it's like, if that number dies, I will die, there's a problem.
Yeah, I like, again, my siblings. If one of them would be
Stop
without
adding your siblings.
at my siblings,
Oh my
get out
God.
of here with your. My brother's not gonna listen to this, but my sister will, so it's done.
Adam's
What
sister,
they
I'm
would
so
do-
sorry.
What they would do is they had a
Just keep
team
a streak
set
with
up,
Adam.
so they knew each other's combinations to their phones. And if one person was unable to use their phone, they'd make sure, set up in advance, that the other sibling would be in place, ready to send their streaks. Ridiculous.
It's too much work.
I do remember hitting that point where you like realized, because I do feel like that was like where I was at in high school with like the wanting streaks kind of thing. And then I do remember like getting to a point and being like, oh, those don't matter. But like, I don't know, let her have fun. let her
But
talk to people every day.
It's not fun at that point. It's like work for them. Like it was
But let her
genuinely
learn
like,
responsibility.
gotta go do this work thing of sending a black picture to every person on my friend list so that
I think it
number and
teaches
fire can go up.
responsibility and like scheduling and time management.
put on a resume.
Yeah, I kept
I kept
like
a
a
4-year streak
2000 streak.
Shows
Oh my
dedication.
god. Yeah. Oh my god. Fair enough. But yeah, I think that like sometimes if people post a lot on Instagram, then I'm kind of just like, oh, I'll get your life updates from Instagram rather
Yeah.
than like talking to them. And like that's not great. I should talk to them. Like that hurts
Yeah.
communication.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I know a lot of people from high school that I still follow on Instagram. And it's like I like just seeing sporadic posts, being like, this person's doing
Sure.
all right, and I don't need to talk
Yeah.
to them.
That's what I like about social media, and I think that's what Facebook was originally, of just what is this person up to in their life, and I like seeing that.
Right.
Although it tends to be because we're freshly out of college, people are just partying all the time, which is not enjoyable to see constant pictures of. But it is nice to be like, oh, this person just got married, or
Mm-hmm.
this person has a baby, or whatever, and it'd be like wild. But it's interesting to see
Right.
those things.
Yeah. Do you guys know anyone that like does like influencer level like Instagram updates?
No.
I know like 3 people just in my regular life that are just like that they post like they have like a big following kind of thing. So it's like every day there's like at least 2 or 3 Instagram stories, and then it's like at least a couple times a week they post, and then sometimes I'm like, I want to mute you.
I've unfollowed people who
like-
post too often.
Here's
yeah?
the other thing.
Stories I can just avoid, but if you do a a post
Yeah.
If you
every
mail
day,
me your Instagram,
if you print out and be in the mail,
Mhm.
send back if liked.
Yeah, oh my god, you had to send them back a little heart.
The stamp is the Instagram logo.
Yes.
That's right.
I was gonna say another important distinction between the stories. I feel like Snapchat, every single story, like in between, I get an ad. Instagram, like I'll go a few stories before I get an ad,
Yeah, it's like every 3
that
or
makes
4.
sense.
which is
Yeah.
annoying. Because I understand that's how Snapchat makes its money, but and Instagram too. But I feel like it's
Yeah.
less frequent on Instagram.
That's fair. Alrighty, well, instead of talking about social media, I'm just going to keep asking questions that aren't social media because those were
Hit
the
us.
only 2 social media ones. What makes you like someone immediately? Like, what's a thing that if someone does, you're like, yep, you're cool. I like you. We're friends.
They don't like Snapchat.
Oh,
Yeah,
stop
if
it.
if the first thing someone says is, Snapchat kind of sucks, I'll be like, best friends. No, I'm kidding.
Literally, so rude.
That's
Oh
a
my
litmus test. What do you think of the new Snapchat update? And if they say anything other than bad,
Doesn't matter what the update is, probably bad.
I have noticed it's definitely like people our age that like Snapchat are like are secretly like moms. Because I feel like that is like every reason I give for liking Snapchat. It's like I don't feel so judgmental when I'm on it, or like oh I love saving pictures and like being able to look at these cute little pictures and like stuff like
All
that.
functions that other applications do and do better.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what makes you like people? What finds you friends? This is a positive question, Adam.
I don't know. I guess maybe this is bad, but my first thought was when I first met you, Margot, and you were like, I went to a Ren fair, and I was like, cool, a cool person. But then I forgot that ever happened. So
Yeah, then you forgot about me.
maybe not the best example, but I think that's a good, I guess, kind
So
of
like shared interest kind of thing.
yeah, shared interests. I guess was specifically for me, nerdier things. Those always
Yeah.
hit that +5 friendship level
Yeah.
immediately.
I was thinking that
Level
too. Like anyone that mentions that they play like video games or really like
Mhm.
Star Wars or Marvel, then it's like
I'm pretty sure that was one of our first conversations. Was
Yeah.
like Star Wars stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just like instant
Yeah.
plus, or like a thing with just general like people in general is like if they're willing to make fun of themselves.
Yes, for sure. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Don't take themselves too seriously. That's fair.
I think that's a big thing for everyone. No one should take themselves too seriously.
No. God. I just like feel uncomfortable when people do.
Mhm.
Yeah, because then I'm like, I can't take you that seriously, and so then I don't want to be like mean and be like,
Right.
shut up, like what are you doing? Like no one cares. But then like, stop, what are you doing? No one cares. So time. I think, um, when you get like a genuine smile from someone like when you first meet them, because I feel like that's one of those things, especially in college when you're like meeting a bunch of new people, is it's like there's some people that are like, hi, like it's good to meet you, like it's exciting to meet you, like I like talking to you in this moment. And then there's some people that are like, hey, hi.
Yeah, that's a
And
good one
you
too.
just like,
Mhm.
and I'm like not the biggest extrovert, and so like I need someone who is a little bit more extroverted to like jump into it. I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like
Or for an interaction like Adam and I's where it was like, red fair. And then it was like, sorry, not that one.
had to
Oh, man.
betray me by living in a different state.
It was very awkward because you were so excited about like
I
the
was so
possibility that we
excited.
went to the
Just
same one,
crushed
and I was
me.
like, oh man, I live on the East Coast.
Well, if you just lied, just been
I
like
should
keeping up
have.
that lie.
I should have based our friendship on a lie of like I was there. I said hi to you by the fortune teller. You don't remember?
I was
me?
actually in the fortune teller box.
I was the fortune teller. Oh my god. Alrighty. What's the most embarrassing thing to happen to you recently?
Recently.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it shows improvement. I feel like embarrassment is often a subjective thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or maybe entirely a subjective thing. So
Mhm.
as you get more confident in yourself, you become less embarrassed by situations. So I feel like I have not been embarrassed too much lately.
Exciting. Adam's a confident man.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know if I told this story. In law school, you do cold calls where the teacher will just
Sure.
pick someone at random. It's kind of less random nowadays because of COVID, but
Yeah.
typically pick someone random and ask them a bunch of questions about whatever the reading was. Watch Legally Blonde. It's pretty prominently featured. The very first day of my very first law class, I was the person called on. And not only was I called on for the first intro thing, I was the only person called on for the entire class session. And so it was just me talking to the teacher about what we had read, which was a nightmare. So I don't know I don't think I was embarrassed by it, but that was definitely up there. I did not like that experience. And recently I was talking to this guy. He's like, that every time I see you, I just think about that first day in our class. I'm like, well, great.
Oh,
I'm
no,
glad that
don't
this sticks out in
mention
your
that.
memory of this experience that I did not enjoy.
Did you think you did bad or?
No, he thought it well, but
awesome.
It was just like I don't want people to think of that when they think of me.
Yeah.
No matter how I did.
Right.
You ever just sit at night before bed and think of something embarrassing you did?
Yep, constantly.
Like as a child, yeah.
All the time.
100%.
Or last week, I don't know.
or 5 minutes ago, totally. Oh my god. One thing that happened to me yesterday, so whenever this comes out, last Wednesday, I was dog sitting, and the dog the day before had a dental visit thing, right? Because it's an older dog, and they were just making sure everything was good, but the dog was still drugged when I was taking care of her, and so she was out of it and just weird for the day, right? Which is fine, has every right. But they live on the 3rd floor, and so she ate her food, and I took her down in the elevator and took her out to try to get her to pee or something. She didn't, and she just kind of pulled me back into the hallway, and I was like, okay, I guess you don't want to do this. And the owners had warned me that that might be what happens, and I was like, okay, all right. And I was like, let's just go down this short little bit of hallway to make sure that you don't want to pee before you accidentally make a mess in your home kind of thing. But then we like get to like halfway down that hallway and she just lays down and she just like refuses to move. And this is a big dog. I think she's like heavier than I am. And so I can't like pick her up. And so it's like she's just laying down and there's like other people who like live in the apartment complex like kind of looking at me and just being like, okay, whatever's happening here. And we were outside this one apartment that had like a ring doorbell thing. So they like came out and were like, can we help you? Because I was just standing outside their apartment, like not knowing what to do with this dog that I can't move. And I was like, nah, she's just on a lot of drugs right now. I'm sorry. And then they're like, oh, no big deal. Okay. So they just kind of like go back in. And this guy like comes out and he was really nice. And he was like, oh, she won't move because like clearly she won't. And I was like, she won't move. And he like leaves. But then like 10 minutes later he comes back because he had gotten like pizza and he was bringing it back and he goes, still, like she's still here? And I was like, I know, I don't know what to do, man. But then she was like excited because she smelled the pizza and so she like went towards him and I was like, maybe you'll get her to move, like this is great. But then she barked at him and I was like, I'm sorry, like this isn't her, she's not like herself right now. But then like he walks down and she just lays down there and I'm like, we got a little closer. So we had to like, it was a time. We had to coax her. My mom came out, and I was like, "Can you bring cheese?" Because like I know she really likes cheese, and so it was like maybe that'll tempt her. But like, it was a time. So I was embarrassed about that. It was like I know that there's like no reason that I should be because it's like whatever. But it was just like I'm so sorry to everyone who's having to deal with this right now. Like, yeah, it was a time. Lord.
Sometimes it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Yeah. Good mover.
My family's dog will do that if he's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. He'll just lay down.
Lay down.
It's like,
we're done now.
I was like, I guess, man. Like, it was just awkward because there's like one part of the hallway that there's like 3 hallways connected to. So it was just like, oh, there's people over there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
yeah.
Like we're just in everyone's way. Yeah, it was a time. But it worked itself out, and then she went upstairs and fell asleep promptly, so it was good. But Lord, dogs. I don't know. How about you, Ryan? What embarrassed you lately?
I was actually thinking back to last week because I did a interview with like our school's station about my job on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened it up. They're like, hey, we have Ryan. And I was like, the first thing I said, I messed it up. Because I said, oh, pleasure for having me, which doesn't make any sense.
No, it does.
You
it's
should
their
say,
pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me. And it's my pleasure. And I combined the two and made an abomination.
I love that.
And I rewatched that interview and I was like, oh, Ryan, you fumbled it up. That and the rest of the interview was a little awkward too because like I was sent the questions and I was like, okay, I can make like 4 minutes of this. And I talked to the guy before and he's like, oh, well, we only need 1:30. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll shorten it. So like I really shortened it after the first few questions and it was like 1:45 and they were like still going. And he just started like asking questions and he sort of forgot some of the questions. So there was like a good like 7 seconds where we were just sitting there and I was like, but it went well.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
Love that.
It's got a grand total of like 3 views on YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as well of the 5 people who watched it, plus whatever crew and cast were there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You're fine.
Exactly. But it was a pleasure for having me.
It was a pleasure for having you, as it is every week on this podcast.
It's always awful when that happens of you have the 2 phrases and you don't pick either and you just mush them together.
Mm-hmm.
I do it all the time.
I heard someone said the word frustrated, which is flustered and frustrated, and I love that. Because in that moment, I was frustrated.
Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna do one more question, and then we'll probably talk about what ran on our parades. What is the best? It doesn't have to be a Southern lady one. but the vibe of a Southern lady saying, "Oh darn," like what's the best like phrase, like a frustrated phrase that people use, like
Cheese
"Oh
and
shucks,"
crackers.
or like "Yeah, cheese and crackers" is a good
I
one.
like
Like
cheese
I don't know. That's a-
Criminally.
Oh man.
Just think of
I don't
things my
know.
mom says.
Right. This isn't quite the same, but I know that like Illinois people say "oop," and then I know that like Iowa people say "oofta."
Oofta.
I have never ever heard oofta, and I
I've heard
now
oofta.
currently live in Iowa and am surrounded by only Iowans. So that's
One of my
dubious.
professors was from Iowa, and she told me that it was because of Iowa. But
But I've yet to hear it.
I wonder if it's
do say
Idaho.
oop
I don't know. There's too many I states.
constantly. That's true. But I say oop all the time, and it's a problem.
Oopsie.
Oop, let me squeeze right past you.
I messed something up really bad one time, and the only thing I could come up with was oopsie.
Oopsie whoopsie. Trying to think of other ones. I don't know. Lord Loveduck is a southern one. I like that one. But that one's kind of like when you're really frustrated. That might be a little more than "oh darn." You say "Lord Loveduck."
Wow.
You're
Yeah,
real
so-
frustrated.
Jeez
You've got
Louise.
problems if you're
You
saying
better
that.
watch out
This
when you hear someone say
complete
that.
nonsense phrase. I
Oh
don't.
man.
I don't have anything like that. I mean, Illinoisans say "ope." I say
Yeah.
"ope" literally all the time, but I can't think of anything beyond that.
So,
I
yeah.
don't think people
Fair.
from Illinois have these fun little nonsense
You know,
phrases.
No, I mean,
I
I've
thought you
heard
guys would say "oh
OGs.
shucks"
Like,
because
you
of
ever heard anyone
corn.
say, like, G's?
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yeah. OGs. GG's. Cheese Louise. Cheese Louise Batman.
Jeez Louise is a big one.
Jeez Louise. None of the other ones I've not heard.
I don't
Do
know
you
where
guys
Cheese
really
Louise
not say
Batman
"oh
comes from,
shucks"?
but my mom says that one sometimes, and I really like that.
Interesting.
I love
Yeah, I definitely heard Jeez Louise. I say Jeez a lot, but
that. I feel like
Do you think-
oof
Oof.
is just a Gen Z one. Yeah. I don't know.
Oofta.
Oofta.
you know,
I like
I'll be on the
oofta.
lookout for oofta.
I've started saying it. Ever since
I-
I had her in class and she said it all the time, I started saying it all the time. I was like,
It's
yep.
pretty popular in, like, Minnesota.
Oh,
That
interesting.
makes sense.
Yeah.
It would
a
make
good one.
sense if it's Iowa as well, but I
Mhm.
have yet to hear
You need to listen for more of them.
it. Yeah.
Try to like frustrate more people and see what they say.
I'll go out of my way to frustrate
Uh-huh.
people so I can hear it.
It's a great way to make friends.
In
And then as
class,
soon as
like,
you hear
knock
them
over
say it,
someone's
you go like,
books.
ah, so that's what you say. You see, it was all a social experiment. Yeah, fair. Alrighty, well, oh shucks, we're out of time.
Oh,
What,
shucks.
wait, what
Ah.
time are we at?
53 minutes.
Oh, okay. thought
I
we
looked at the
started
clock
early.
this time.
We're just flying by.
Woo.
Professional.
Yeah. We certainly never go over time. Not once. Don't look at last week's episode.
We also have, like,
Um,
never a set time of what we have to hit.
Yeah.
We never, like, promise anything.
No. I promise there will be at least a minute of podcast.
Which is usually how long the intro takes.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, what were in y'all's parades?
I actually have something this week, and I may have brought this up in a previous episode, but this was just something that very inconvenienced me multiple times this week. But people walking on the sidewalk, if you're a slow walker, you need to move to the side, because I have places to be, and I don't have time for this, like, moderate walking. And then, like, I can't get around because they're in the middle, and I don't want to, like, pass them on the right because that's just rude. And also passing them is just rude, but it's like, hurry up. You're going really
Fair.
slow. And it's like, you're a tall
Yeah.
person, too. Come on, we got places to be.
You got big legs, long legs. There's a difference. But yeah, I don't know. That's fair. I try to be a fast walker because I know that I have stubby little legs, and so if I just like walk at like my normal pace, it's probably not fast enough for most people. I have noticed, specifically with people as tall as Adam, where they'll just be like walking, and I have to do like a little trot to be like, okay, I guess we're walking, okay, because Adam will take full strides, and it's,
I take normal steps, but
He
I'm
takes-
6'2", so
he lunges for steps. And so we'll be like leaving a walk by us, and I have to go like, "Oh-do-do-do-do."
Like Mr. Krabs.
Yes. Oh man, yeah.
But yeah,
That's a time.
it was just like multiple events. The one that really annoyed me was like I was running late for class, and there was
No.
a person in front that was like slightly slower than me, but like I could pass him. I also didn't want to
Mhm.
pass him, but it was also like we got class to go to. Like I know you're on your way to class. We've got like a minute left, and if neither of us
Right.
hurry up, we're both gonna be late. So.
You'll screw us both over. Fair. Trying to think.
yeah, I don't know if I have one. My jaw was killing me today, so it was painful to bite down on things, which has since faded. One of those weird things my body does sometimes where I have
Do this all the
random.
time.
Yep.
My leg
feel like
was
it's a
hurting
man
yesterday
thing.
too.
It's a man
Is it?
thing. I feel like you guys all do this, where you're like, I was having this horrible, horrible pain, but like it's gone now, so who needs to care?
Yeah.
It's like maybe
Yeah.
someone,
No.
maybe you.
What? It's gone. What's the problem?
Yeah, literally, like, my left leg hurt, like, from, like, my knee to my, like, calf hurt for some reason. I don't know why. And, like, walking was a little bit painful yesterday, but it's like, today it's fine.
See?
You just
Not
give it a day.
problem.
And then, like, if it goes past a day, then you can be concerned.
Yes,
or maybe
exactly.
you just need to wait it out a little longer.
My philosophy is if it lasts a week, that's concerning.
A
But-
week? Do you know how many things would kill you in less than a week?
That's fine.
Oh.
Did I cut out?
No, a little bit, but it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
The screen froze and then froze again, and I was like, oh, rough. But yeah, it's fine. It's not gonna kill me, or it will kill me, and that's fine too. If it's gonna kill me in less than a week, then good on it. Well done.
Hmm.
What if it's like really painful and not less than a week? Like, what if it's like 6
Well,
days of like ouch?
If it's like excruciating pain,
But,
then sure. But then that's a problem, and I'll probably do something about it sooner. But if it's just like your normal, random weird pain,
yeah.
and like my jaw, like it hurt, but it only hurts when I chew on things, which might be
It
a
only
vital
hurts
part
when
of
I use it.
Yeah.
It
But
might be a
Margo,
part-
here's
but-
the
and then-
alternative. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna, like, take medicine?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you gonna, like, go to a doctor? But, like, if you go to a doctor, it might, like, take a day. And then when you finally get to go to the doctor, like, you're fine.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, you shouldn't be so like laissez-faire about it. Like, you should be like, it was a little like concerning. It hurt
yes.
to chew.
It was concerning, but it's not
I
there
just
anymore,
chalk it up
so-
to how I sleep.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
same. I'll be like,
I jutted out my
The
jaw too
weekend.
much while I slept.
It happens.
Oh my
You know,
God.
you just sleep weirdly. You don't get to control that. And then it's like, well, I just need a day to fix myself and I'll sleep a little bit better. Not that I have any control over it, but
Okay. I had a happy thing. I made soup.
oh, what kind of
I
soup?
like
Nice.
soup. It was just like a veggie one. So we had like I put potatoes in it, tomatoes in it, spinach, like a cilantro base, and then veggie broth and some spices. It was really tasty, and it was like, it's fall, which I feel like I've said like multiple times now on the podcast, and you know what, it is. But there's just several steps to fall of like, oh, it's getting a little colder, and then
Yeah.
ooh, we're eating soup, and that's exciting.
Soupy time.
Soup time. I love soups.
I like soup as well.
They're good. And soup is one of those things that is like, I like making like a big pot of it, and then like you have leftovers, and like because the nature of soup is just sitting in soup for however long, it makes it better because the flavors like meld more, and it's tasty. Yeah.
those are the best when you make something and then it's better the as
Yeah.
leftovers because it kind of like soaks together and it's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like now it's at the point where like the potatoes have like a lot of the like broth in it and everything, and so it's like really good. Ah, soup. Alrighty.
I was gonna say for a
question-
soup recommendation,
Soup.
Campbell's has like these little microwave soup, which not really for you vegetarians, but like there's like little soup things, and you like take off the like little thing, you put it in the microwave for like 1.5 minutes, and it's really good. Like I had a potato one, it was
Nice.
good, and a chicken noodle
Potatoes.
soup one was good. But
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exciting. I love soup of all shapes and sizes. I think soup should be a bigger meal for people. Because I feel like it's not as popular as it deserves to be.
mhm.
Yeah.
Ultimate opinion: soups are bad.
Yeah, you've said this before, and I've been offended every time.
I just want to reiterate: make sure my point's known. Soups not good. There are better ways to eat food.
Or have it as soup.
Or you have soup with a side of mashed potatoes.
Or you just have an awful day.
You know, I was
But-
glad, 2 episodes ago when I was gone and Yoan was here, I'm glad that she defended mashed potatoes.
I can't believe, and like we said it then, we were like, Ryan's not here for one episode, so we can all hate on mashed potatoes. And then
And
Yoan is
then-
like, actually, they're good. What?
We had a traitor in our midst.
It was so sad.
I think this is just very biased that we have the only 2 people in the world that don't like mashed potatoes.
It can't just be us. There's got to be other people who are bad at textures. Well, alrighty. Question your friends. Snapchat's great, but also probably not that great. And then soup is wonderful.
Mhm.
Have a sunny Wednesday.
Bye.
Later.